Robot here at Vespa Motorsport and ScooterWest.com for all things Vespa. ScooterWest.com here in San Diego, California. We got a couple new glove box bags for you. So these are the new premium glove box bag. You can just search the Scooter West web store for GTS bag and it'll populate with all the different variations. It's a new leather version, so it's all genuine leather. And we have these custom made for Scooter West and Vespa Motorsport in Mexico, not China. There's plenty of cheap ones out there and they are truly cheap. Like, leave it out in the sun, give it 6 months, it's gonna be faded. The materials are sourced from the higher quality materials. You got several different bags in here. You can hold like a rain jacket or a rain shell. You can put maps. The tan one does have 2 separate pockets. That's a seat cover right there. So good place to put a seat cover, protect your seat. And I'll show you how these pockets work. So the install is pretty easy. Make sure your scooter's on. You gotta open the glove box. And as you can see, it's a really useful glove box on any of these modern Vespas. Just not much space. You barely have enough room for your toolbox. You can maybe just barely shove a thin set of gloves and maybe put a wallet there. So not much space, and that's pretty much all the modern Vespas. If you're wondering what models these glove box bags fit, pretty much all the GTS and GT range of scooters, they'll fit the Primavera and Sprint, no problem. They fit the ET4. I have one on my own personal ET4. The LX and the Vespa S, they're definitely not going to fit. Definitely not the S because there's no glove box on that scooter. The LX is kind of got quite a curve to the glove box, so it doesn't quite work as well. It is possible to hang it from it. And if you got a vintage Vespa like a PX, they work great on the PX as well. So just do the straps like that. Leave a little slack. I'm not going really heavy on it. You could go underneath, kind of clean up the look, or you can go over top, either way. And just do that strap there. So there's a little bit of extra slack there. You could center it. And there's enough for the hinge where it just snakes right through. You can see it doesn't really affect the hinge at all. And you instantly have extra storage. So the number one thing that people like to do with the glove box bags is have a drink on them, whether it's a bottle of water. Ideally, you want some type of a tumbler with a shutter on it. And my experience with coffee, probably don't want to fill all the way up. You could put a cardboard coffee cup, you know, from a Starbucks or whatever in there. Probably want a small one, and you probably want to drink about a quarter of it before you put it in there, because believe it or not, the scooters move around a lot and it's pretty hard to keep it stable. But you can come to a stop, pull that right out, and it does kind of take 2 hands to get it back in. With this size, if you have a small water bottle or a can, not an issue. On the new leather version, we've changed up the Velcro, so it holds a more modern sized phone. So typical phone, 6.5 inches. So you could drop a phone in there and it's secure with the Velcro, because now they have a much larger Velcro patch on both the center and the right patch. Another thing, if you have these modern Vespas with a fob, you don't want to just have keys in your pocket, because I've had several customers, they're wearing loose fitting clothes or you just have it clipped as a carabiner on your pant. That's not really the best spot. Probably just best if you have the key secure next to the scooter. Obviously you want to walk away from it, take the key with you, but it's a good spot for a key. Another thing, sometimes you want to switch up your glasses. So since it's leather, it's kind of got a nice velour interior in there. It's not going to scratch your glasses, but holds glasses just fine. So opens up. What would you put in here? So there's a rain shell to a riding jacket. Maybe you don't want to wear the rain shell. It fits in there real nice, but it's easy to get to. You know, the seat, you kind of got to really get off the scooter, probably put it on the side stand. In a pinch, you probably could just step away from the scooter, put it on the, and just pull that out. Another ideal item to carry in something like this is your seat cover. So you want to protect the seat cover. This is the Scooter West seat cover. There's the part number, and search for, very popular. We sell quite a few of them. And it's got that elastic seat cover that goes over your seat. So if it's mist or rainy, dew outside, or you just want to protect the seat from sun, it does have the reflective foil. Several different purposes why you want to have a seat cover go over your seat. So pretty easy to zip it back up. And as you can see, plumps out a little bit when you have more in there. And even when you're on the scooter with that tumbler in there, it's not really in the way. And you can have quite a bit. And if you have nothing in there, it's a lot flatter. And I'll show you on the next scooter with not so much stuff in the bag. So here we have the new black leather glove box bag installed on a new Sprint. So pretty much any Sprint or Primavera Vespa fits just fine. Glove box still just opens up just fine. Look how useful these glove boxes are. There's no space on this side, and you have a tiny little pocket right there. So not all that useful. With the glove box bag, there you go with a Coke can. Definitely want to take a pretty good swig if you're going to travel with a Coke can, but it does hold a can just fine. You have the two pockets with more Velcro on them. And the leather ones, they do have a higher quality zipper on them as well. But maybe you just want to have an extra set of gloves with you, you know, cold weather and some thinner warm weather gloves. Perfect to store that. There's also this extra zipper compartment in here. Maybe you could put paperwork, just extra compartment. Then you have the mesh compartment as well. So moving on to the classic Scooter West glove box bag in the synthetic material. It's proven to be very, very durable. Again, you can put your key fob in there. It's still got the smaller Velcro patch. So if you put a large, you know, 6.5-inch phone, the patch isn't going to quite Velcro, but it will hold it secure. You put maybe a utility knife, maybe you need that for some reason, and ideally you want to be hydrated. So either like a water bottle like this, fits real easy, goes in and out. You could even put like a bicycle water bottle with a squeeze on it. That would work as well. And again, this out sits with nothing in here, so it's quite flat. Plenty of room to get in and out. And moving on to the brown bag that I have on this clay colored Primavera. Maybe you're traveling all day. So here's an ideal set of accessories you may want to do if you're traveling all day. So here's the brown synthetic material bag. Again, built just like the black one, but a pretty cool classic brown. And open up. You know, maybe you don't rely on GPS. So there's your paper map. There's several pockets for your paper maps. I have it in there. Maybe you want to have a beanie so you don't have that helmet head when you've been riding all day, or even just like a floppy ball cap will kind of fold up in there. But ideally, a microfiber rag and Plexus, which is definitely the highest quality windshield cleaner there is. We have this back in stock after like over 2 years of not having it in stock. So oil Plexus -13 ounce. There's also a smaller bottle. Yeah. And it only takes a tiny bit to go a long way. So, you know, just a little spritz, you know, at a stop, get those bugs. Maybe have one of those tall windscreens, probably not so practical on a little windscreen. And you could just get right on your way. Put your can back in there. Out of all the products we sell, that Plexus, I've never found anything that comes close to replacing that. So finally have that back in stock. And of course that's on the Scooter West web store. And there's your brown synthetic bag. So hope I give you some good ideas if you do want to add one of these glove box bags. Obviously it's really easy to remove if you don't want to use it. I have several customers here in San Diego. They just leave it on year round. They leave their scooters outside and the bags still look great. See you in the next one. Robot here.